Hello, my fellow broke aristocrats. Thanks for joining us. Today we are continuing on in our series on optimal nutrition and weight loss on a budget. And I decided to cover vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. We've already gone through the macronutrients, so if you'd like to begin this series with the first couple of videos, we go through everything from what is a healthy weight, how to determine your weight, to what is a macronutrient. Now we're moving on to micronutrients, and we're starting with vitamin A. Vitamin A is a common deficiency in parts of the world which we would call the third world, but it's not so deficient here in the United States. Now, there are a couple of different forms of vitamin A. There's retinol, the form of vitamin A that our bodies can use and store it by the liver. It's also found in high concentration in animal foods like liver. So if you're trying to increase your vitamin A retinol and you don't think you're getting enough, the probably most effective way and the least expensive would be to consume something like liver, because liver is actually one of the cheaper meats that is currently on the market. So that is one option for people who are broke aristocrats who are concerned about not getting enough vitamin A. Now, vitamin A also comes in a pro form or a pre-vitamin A form, and that is mostly the beta carotenoids. There are different types of carotenoids, but specifically the beta carotenoids are found in orange foods. So we would see a lot of beta carotenoids in carrots, for example. Carrots are not particularly expensive. Sweet potatoes, yams, butternut squash. The most effective way to get vitamin A in your diet that's the least expensive is to really try and buy foods that are local and in season. For example, carrots are available all year round and not particularly expensive, but it's really in the fall and the winter when we really see the cheapest deals for carrots. And in the summertime, you'll be getting better deals on things like apricots. In the fall and the winter, you can get the oranges, of course, and the summer squashes. Of course, you want to check those out, are available in the summertime. So always think in terms of the seasons and what is local and available when you are purchasing any food so that you can get the best deal. But by and large, I found the two cheapest sources for vitamin A appear to, if you're looking for active vitamin A in the retinol form, it would be liver, and if you're looking at the pre-carotenoid form, it would be in orange vegetables that are in season, inexpensive, like carrots. So now I want to talk a little bit about what vitamin A does in the body and why it's so important. Vitamin A does a couple of things. One of the things that it does is it helps support our immune system. And in fact, we see that in the third world, or in areas where the economy is depressed and children don't get a lot of vegetables in their diet, they're at greater risk for blindness. And for that reason, we often see programs like Vitamin Angels will come in and they will offer vitamin A. One capsule of vitamin A runs 25 cents a year. And that helps prevent childhood blindness in children living in the third world that may not be getting adequate fruits and vegetables. We see this a lot in populations where children are literally living on white rice, which has very little nutritional value, and vegetables are few and far between. So that is why we're concerned about it in the third world. But we're also seeing an increased risk for children dying of preventable diseases like measles and other childhood infections because the immune system is so closely tied to how much vitamin A you get. So vitamin A, very important in immune health, very important for skin health, and very important for eye health. And this is why we're seeing childhood blindness associated with vitamin A deficiency. This is because vitamin A is necessary to help make the part of the eye that sees at night. Basically, night vision is heavily dependent on vitamin A. There's a couple of other things I want to say about vitamin A. It's a fat-soluble vitamin, so anybody who has trouble digesting fats is at risk for having a vitamin A deficiency, particularly people with poor pancreatic function or gallbladder diseases. Vitamin A, as I said, comes in two forms. The active form, which is found in meat and animal products, and the pro form, carotenoids, that our body has to convert into an active form of vitamin A. Now, usually it's a ratio, different debates about what the ratio is, but most research I'm finding right now say that it takes approximately for every 12 molecules of a carotenoid, we can get 1 molecule of retinol. So if you are getting your vitamin A from a pro form, in the form of carotenoids, you really have to eat a lot more of them than, say, 1 piece of liver. So, as I mentioned, some of the reasons why you might see a deficiency: irritable bowel diseases like celiac, Crohn's disease, gallbladder disease where you're not producing enough bile to break down fats. Small intestinal bowel overgrowth and pancreatic insufficiency are all risk. Poverty, of course, as we've talked about, if you're not getting adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables, you can certainly be at risk for a vitamin A deficiency. Carotenoids, as I mentioned before, being a pro or pre-vitamin A, it's a precursor, is also an antioxidant. And so we're really interested in that part of carotenoids because we're very interested in that aspect of carotenoids, that it is an antioxidant, because consuming more carotenoids is associated with slowing down the process of aging. So consequently, people who consume less carotenoids, less orange vegetables and fruits, are going to be aging faster. And that is really the takeaway from that. Cell division requires vitamin A. We also see that vitamin A is used quite a bit in the respiratory, in the lungs, and in the urinary tract to help grow and maintain white blood cells that can fight off infection in the respiratory and the urinary tract. So again, when we don't get adequate amounts, we're at risk of those types of infections. I want to close this lecture on vitamin A talking about a really great organization that I have certainly donated to myself, and that is Vitamin Angels. Vitamin Angels is a nonprofit organization that takes vitamin A capsules all over the world and has literally helped prevent childhood blindness for millions of children worldwide. If you would like to find out more about Vitamin Angels, or if you'd like to make a donation, I will link their information below. I also want to say that to prevent childhood blindness only costs 25 cents a year. So if you want to help a child be able to see and not experience childhood blindness, then all it takes is 25 cents. So us fellow broke aristocrats that are looking for great charities, this is certainly a great charity. Walgreens has been an active partner with Vitamin Angels, and so is Pharmaca Pharmacy and many other organizations and pharmacies all over the country. Okay, so that is everything I have for you for the importance of vitamin A, along with a link to seasonal information about what orange vegetables are in season and when, so you can find the most cost-effective ways to get vitamin A in your diet. I have a chart here. Basically 2,000 international units a day is what we recommend for children, and for adults we're looking at approximately 10,000 international units of vitamin A in the form of retinol. So again, remember what I said, it's a 12-to-1 ratio, beta carotene to retinol A, so you really want to make sure you're getting plenty of fruits and vegetables in your diet that are orange. And hopefully I gave you some links about which ones are least expensive. Coming up with creative ways to cook with orange vegetables, whether it's pumpkins and baked squashes, those are always delicious. But carrots, I pretty much put carrots in everything. They can be sauteed, baked, grated into a salad. There are plenty of fun ways to use carrots and other orange vegetables to make them flavorful, even for picky eaters. Okay, that's everything I have for you for vitamin A, and tomorrow we'll be starting on the family of vitamins known as the B vitamins, and that's very exciting because they're awfully important and I have a lot to say about them. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.